Hello and welcome to Moonbeam's Videozone. I'm really not a giant guy. I'm on a miniature set for a film we just finished called Beanstalk. It turned out great, and at the end of the movie, of course, the giant comes down and chases Jack. So I think Beanstalk should be out later on this year in 1994. I hope you all enjoyed Dragonworld. It was a real difficult picture for us to make. You know, we really wanted to do the right thing with all the special effects shots and the dragon shots, and I'm really proud of the way the film turned out, and I'm pretty convinced we're going to wind up doing a Dragonworld 2. Coming up on the Moonbeam label, we have Pet Shop, we have Prehysteria 2, we have this really cool show called Teeny Weenies, which is inspired from a film called Darby O'Gill and the Little People. And later this year, we're shooting a film called Genie. So there's some wonderful projects that are going to be made and released on the Moonbeam label, and I hope to see you on the next edition of the Videozone.
Once upon a time, in the mystical land of Moonbeam, lived a baby dragon named Yowler. It takes a lot of magic. Movie magic to create a dragon.
The design of the dragon came from several different directions. One was Andrea von Schally, who basically designed it on paper. And then Mark Rappaport came along and kind of helped her in designing it in a way that it would work mechanically for us. And then David Allen kind of came in and gave us some of his input too. And basically all of us working together, and then Andrea really sculpting the thing. We came up with a thing that was basically a classical dragon, but with a more loving, feminine touch, I think.
Well, I designed him and the baby dragon for this movie. I always try to do something that's different than anything I've seen. You think back about what you remember and what you've seen and come up with your own version of it. That's what I do. And it's a lot of fun. Well, the stop motion model was the first one that I started, and from that they took measurements and scaled it up 6 times larger.
And yell!
Once the design was complete, sculpting began.
The first step of any sculpture is the armature, and the armature for this was gigantic because it's so heavy with all the clay on there that they spent many days working with huge pieces of steel pipe and rod and welding this thing together first. Then they're going to make a mold, a copy of it, a foam casting, and they have to paint it. And then after that, to bring it to life,
Yowler's growth from baby to fire breather requires several dragon versions.
We came to England with 2 dragons in crates. One being the baby dragon, which was about 4 feet tall and fully cable operable, and basically had hand movement, leg movement, and full facial articulation that really gave him life.
With Baby Yowler, what we've done is we made him a complicated cable puppet and a radio-controlled head. And the cables for these puppets act very similar to muscles. Puppeteers are 10 to 15 feet away from this puppet. There's 5 or 6 of them. What they're doing is that the movement that comes through the wing, they're actuating with their arms. So they make this movement, which is their muscles making that movement. The cable, which acts as the muscles for the puppet, does the same thing in the puppet's arm.
Look what I found!
On the radio-controlled part of this, we go to your hobby store and we pick up what looks to be a regular radio-controlled transmitter, but we change it internally to make it work for us, so we get a lot of different motion. And that motion allows us to give a back and forth movement on eyebrows, which we combine with the lids moving up and down, lower and upper. The eyes move 4 ways, up, down, left, and right. And we have nostril movements, we have mouth movements, we have lip movements.
Can I keep them, Grandpa, please?
Different Yowlers serve different functions.
We also had just kind of an empty foam puppet version of him for the scene where Johnny tackles the dragon.
Cut. Excellent.
And then shortly after the baby dragon arrived, in a much larger crate and in several different crates, came the big dragon, which was basically the head of the dragon and a length of its neck with all of its framework and articulation and cable controls, so that we could do scenes where we had the people in close proximity with the dragon and actually they're talking to the dragon.
Yowler was also created using stop-motion animation and digital computer animation.
We started out thinking the movie was going to be done fully with stop-motion animation and our puppetry that we did on the set. And then after Jurassic Park came out and everyone began to see what was possible using computer-generated imagery, we decided that we'd give it a chance too on some of the scenes that we couldn't really do justice to by traditional stop-motion animation.
Using both techniques requires special shots on the set.
You're dealing with the very technical demands of shooting background plates, and each plate becomes like several hours of setting it up and very precisely.
Action!
Luckily for us, we had Chris Endicott along with us, and Chris was our special effects supervisor for the optical effects. And so Chris was with us at all times going, this is possible, that's not possible, you got to do this. Please, Ted, don't do that because it'll be impossible later.
Could be good. That looks good!
Now the wonderful wizardry of digital effects are created by Randall William Cook.
In order to animate something digitally, what you have to do is you have to build it digitally in a wireframe form. Since the dragon was built already for other scenes in the film, we just took that sculpture and had it scanned in.
Come on, Yowler, get up, boy.
What we have here is the first part of the animation of John and Beth Escape. And when you first look at it to review it, it looks like this. This can be viewed backwards or forwards, and you can step it a little bit at a time. And you look at this to quickly preview the kind of motion you've got and to see if you've got it right. If you like it, you go back and make final adjustments. Then, when you've got the animation a little farther along, you render it out at a higher resolution that shows the actual creature's body and not just the wireframe. And it looks more complete.
Digital effects artist Michael Hoover determines Yowler's exact look.
The dragon is actually, when he came from the digital scan-in people, was bone white and smooth, completely uninteresting. Really, it looked like a marble statue. You know, we have 10 texture maps and bump maps for the dragon. The software allows us to position a projector wherever we want and shine our image right onto the side of the model, and it stays there. So when the model moves, that image moves with it.
Having a dragon as a co-star made some interesting demands on the actors.
You find some actors are a little bit better at pretending than others in terms of seeing something in front of them that's not there. We had a thing we called the monster stick, which was this big, tall stick with a little cutout where the dragon's head would be, and so Chris Endicott would always be there kind of like maneuvering the stick around the set so that people would have a common eye line for their reactions. It's really a matter of you just do whatever you can do on the set to try to imagine what it's going to be like to see this 20-foot tall dragon in front of you and then just bring it out of everybody. Cortland Meade was a real joy to work with. With him working with the dragon, all he needed to do was to see the puppet of the baby dragon, and the minute he saw that, he understood exactly what was going to be happening and exactly what his relationship was with the dragon.
Gotcha. It's kind of cute.
Yowler may be an amazing compilation of special effects, but to the actors, he's very real.
He's 19 feet tall, and he literally slobbers down my neck.
Actually, you know what? I've come to the conclusion that we all want the dragon to be real. Because we love the dragon so much, we want the dragon to love us back.
But I'll tell you, he's a joy to be with. He's a joy. I can't say any more. A real joy.
When I first saw the dragon, it was alive. It was fantastic. I was delighted and surprised at how wonderful he looks. Reading the script, I had a very vivid picture of him myself. It's very nice to be able to act with something as animated as that.
Really working with the dragon, which is amazing. I've never done that before. That's quite interesting.
It's wonderful.
It is great.
Absolutely marvelous. It's magic.
Thank you, Yola, for bringing happiness to my boy.
Even royalty has fallen head over heels for Yowler. The Duke of Rutland, owner of Hayden Hall, Yowler's castle, tries his hand as a
I understand
puppeteer.
you've done this before, Your Grace.
I've done it before in Bakewell on the old small dragon, which is magnificent too.
Here go the ears.
And very clever. Oh yes, that's marvelous.
What are his ears doing?
It seems that Yowler and Dragonworld have found their way into everybody's hearts. We hope that yours is one of them.
Well, The Pet Shop is a comedy that's targeted toward kids, and it is about a family, an Italian family from Brooklyn, who are in the Witness Protection Program, and they get sent to a town, small town in Arizona called Cactus Flats.
So this is suburbia. I think I'm going to be ill.
At the same time that they arrive, also two aliens from outer space, these very wacky aliens called Mr. and Mrs. Zim, also arrive in Cactus Flats and take over the sort of okey-pokey pet shop that is in the center of town.
Mr. Zim, we have a problem? Back room, yes, I figured as much. Excuse us, folks. One of God's creatures calls.
The aliens want to capture 4 kids of the town and take them back to their planet and make them into pets. And the way that they're going to coax the children to come with them is by giving them some pets that they brought with them from outer space.
All right, you miserable little creatures! Front and center!
The creatures are fun and colorful and silly and are great playmates.
There, you see? Boobub loves you.
This is Voobub, and as you can see, Voobub is a very furry, cuddly, sweet-faced creature. And what Voobub does is he transforms into a rabbit. He listens to music and he actually dances. I love his little beak. He makes funny little noises with his beak, and he has beautiful eyes. And this is Pwing, and Pwing transforms into an iguana. And I just think she's so graceful, and the way that she moves, she does this amazing thing where she can actually walk up the walls. One really special function is that Pwing gives great kisses. And this is Trimblecorn, and Trimblecorn transforms into a turtle. And Trimblecorn is really interesting because he's very, very strong. He's also very colorful and very playful and has a very funny little laugh as well. He is really good at chess, so he's a really smart little animal.
She won! You're better than anything my dad ever bought me.
So this is Geisel, and Geisel transforms into a puppy. I really like Geisel because Geisel has the friendliest look. He really is like just so furry and fuzzy and playful looking, and he has a really wonderful laugh to him as well.
Oh, you bit my finger! Tickle you, tickle you!
What was really fun about the special effects in this movie, and also challenging, is that we didn't have any stop motion effects, and so what we had to do is we had to do everything on the set and everything in front of the camera. So that meant that we had to spend a lot of time along with the puppeteers and along with the designer of the puppets, figuring out how the creatures were going to move.
Oh, wow. Hey, you guys, you got cool pets.
My advice about being a director would be that have lots and lots of confidence, would be to write as much of your own stories as you possibly can and use your imagination, and be resourceful and know about acting and know about photography, and and know about every facet of making movies.
Moonbeam Entertainment invites you to take home something different.
Trimble, is that you?
Something wondrous.
Kaiser?
Something magical, warm, and fuzzy. And there's only one place you can find them.
So open the door already!
Pet Shop. This summer, owning a pet is out of this world.
Is he too cute or what?
Randy had the world at his fingertips, but just when he had it all in control, things took a turn for the worse.
School called. When I get home, young man, I'm going to confiscate every model in the house.
3 men suspected of robbing a local convenience store are still at large tonight. Police warn that the 3 should be considered armed and dangerous.
I've never known anyone who got expelled before. My mom's threatening to confiscate every model in the house. So I'm taking him to the hideout until things cool down.
He was about to find out what real trouble was all about.
Wow, this is a real pretty house.
How long we gotta hole up here?
Till the cops give up on the roadblocks, 3-4 days maybe.
Now he's matching wits with 3 outlaws who are about to outwit themselves.
No!
Error by error.
Strike sperm in the air for you guys!
Blunder by blunder.
Come quick, someone's coming! Don't worry, kid, we're not gonna hurt you. Oh, no, look, they got the army after us!
And blow by blow.
You gotta be pretty smart to get away from Louis, kid. Ah, Richie!
He's teaching the bad guys just how far a kid will go. Remote, a comedy powered by adventure.
Can you give us a hint? It's from the centuries. Cold, very cold, Bob.
Bigger than a breadbasket?
Maybe.
Is it fish or fowl?
Ooh, you getting warm there, Helen? Life takes strange little turns. And once you think you've seen it all, kids, you ain't seen nothing yet. What the?
The Taylors had a habit of living in the past.
Can you believe my brother listens to Elvis? The geek is living in the Stone Age.
Until the past
My eggs! Where are my eggs?
came to live with them.
Honey, we got company.
Now, the Taylors have some new house guests.
Good God, it had a nose like my math teacher.
All they want is some good food,
Watch the fingers, Godzilla.
some good music,
What do you want to call a stegosaurus? Bon Jovi?
a little adventure,
I want my babies back, and I want them now. You can't.
and a couple of laughs.
Say howdy. You just got kissed on the tush by the king.
Because after 65 million years,
These things were over 40 feet long and 7 tons.
Guess we got the runs of the litter.
these guys have a lot to catch up on.
Awesome gizmo. Where's the batteries? Oh, cool. It talks.
Prehysteria. They're not just fossils anymore.
Elvis.
Available exclusively on video cassette from Paramount Home Video and Moonbeam Entertainment.
Hi, my name is Cortland Mead, and this is my friend Yowler for Dragonworld. We're here to tell you about the Moonbeam Fan Club. When you join, you'll get this awesome t-shirt. See? Isn't it cool? You'll also get the Moonbeam newsletter. It's got interviews and the secrets behind the special effects and inside information about upcoming Moonbeam films. You'll get our t-shirt and our newsletter for only $20. That also gets you a lifetime membership card. For more information about Moonbeam, you could call 1-800-MOONBEAM, or you could write to Moonbeam Entertainment at this address. Thanks for watching, and keep sending those fan letters. Me and Yowler will see you on the next Videozone.